we wanted to talk about Gabby Gifford.
Gabby Gifford.
I got Gabby Tulsi Gabbard. I'm sorry.
Gabbard.
I'm sorry. I know that's your girl there. That's
She's not my girl.
Not saying it that way. I know that you guys really like her over in the Republican Party there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think she's swell. She's swell.
Okay. What do you got for?
All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about this. So here's the headline: Gabbard removes clearances from 37 officials at Trump's direction over politicizing intelligence. Director of National Intelligence, the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, on Tuesday announced her office had stripped security clearances from 37 current and former intelligence officials, accusing them of politicizing and manipulating intelligence. A DNI memo sent out on Monday included names of officials who worked at the CIA, NSA, State Department, and National Security Council, including former Obama DNI James Clapper, who Gabbard claimed told officials to compromise normal procedures to rush a 2017 intelligence community assessment related to Russia's influence in the 2016 election. So, give me your thoughts on that.
So
why do you think she did it? Why do you think she did it?
Because they're going to go after Democrats. This is what they do, man. This administration is like this is something that most normal administrations don't do. You don't go after your political. Oh, you're a Republican. We're going to strip all you guys of your national security clearance. We're going to treat you like this. We're going to make sure this is all, to me, at the end of the day, this was a big like smoke screen. You come out this is not to switch the subject because we're not going to, but they come out with the Epstein files, and all of a sudden Tulsi's like, oh, hey, we got all this information on Obama, the Clintons, all this other stuff.
It is kind of weird timing, isn't it? I'll give you that. It's weird timing. I mean?
Oh, we got the biggest news ever, the Russia hoax, Russia. And this, I think it was just to say, this is not to say that the Russian thing was not a hoax. I mean, obviously the dossier was not real. Okay. This is not to say certain parts of it were not fabricated, but at the end of the day, no one cares at this point in time. No one really cares. I'm not saying that some people may or may not. I guess some people do, obviously, like yourself. But most people are like, you know what? We don't really care about that. We've moved past that point right now. You've been president 2 times ever since this ever happened. No one cares. Okay. Obviously, people voted for you, so they didn't believe that you were a part of some Russian scheme. So, I mean, why are we talking about this now? When did this become a bombshell thing?
So,
go ahead.
I mean, just to give you a little bit of education on security clearances. When you leave the service, you leave the government, your clearance goes bye-bye. Why these people still have their security clearances, I have no clue. They don't need them. They're not there to get briefings anymore. They're not making decisions on what's going to happen in the intelligence field. Zero amount of influence there. So why do those 37 people still have a clearance? Answer that question.
They probably, I guarantee you, Trump and his people probably still had clearance except for the one, but that's probably how they do business in Washington. They probably don't have the uppermost level. They probably don't have the level of security where it's like, hey, you can go in here and see these particular classified documents. This is all like this.
If they're read in, they can still do it. That's why they have that.
This is like a dog and pony thing, what she's doing right now. I'm going to pull these clearances. They're probably like, you can go into the White House, or you can go into this place over here, like little stuff. They probably don't have I bet you they can't go into top level briefings. I bet you they can't do that. I bet you no former Democrat or former Republican who when the opposite party's in power can walk into a briefing and be like, I'm going to sit here with
but
you guys.
I still think they get it. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I was in the military and had that clearance. But they can still get briefings on certain things, certain aspects.
They're probably low level briefings, nothing that's probably.
But again,
you know what I mean?
What's the point of having it if you don't use it, or you're not
like I'm saying?
Because if they ever get hired back in again, they can get that clearance.
Well, like I'm saying,
right back on.
It's probably customary that this happens. I mean, this has probably been going on for administration after administration where people don't lose those clearances because it's like once you're in, it's like a fraternity for most of these people. Once they're in, they can talk to each other about different things. They're not worried about it. But this was just I'm a parade you around like I just did something big. Oh, we just cut 37 security clearances from these people because they're just, I mean, come on, let's just be real over here. No one really cares. Most of you guys are bought and sold to other countries already. Most of you guys are passing information to other countries already. Both parties. You know what I mean? It's happening. This is what
Okay, so
you know what I mean?
if you're
So
saying that, so you just answered my question. They don't need it.
no. What
Take
I'm
it
saying is
away.
they're probably not getting new
They don't
information.
deserve them
If
anymore. They don't
and
deserve them if they're not
and the
using
new
them.
information they're probably getting is probably from people who they've done business with in the past, or probably people from other different administrations. People are not Democrat, Republican most times when they're in those positions. Most times they're for themselves. They got friends from both sides of the aisle. Oh, yeah. Except for if you work for Trump and you have no clue about what's going on here. You're just in here because it's like, you know, who can I find that's the worst possible candidate who's never been involved in anything like this ever before in their life and would do a horrible job of listening to what I say. And then Trump's going to choose you. That's who he's going to choose. That's who he's chosen basically for all positions that he's had right here. The worst possible people. I haven't seen anyone very, very good. Maybe Pam Bondi to some degree, but she hasn't done a very good job either. Her own party has called to kick her out. So this is me. I don't know why they took away these people's security clearance who's been in every aspect of our government for years. Obviously, they can't be
trusted to have one because they tried to pull a hoax on the American people.
That's yet to be determined.
No, that's been determined.
By who?
It was a hoax.
By who?
It was in the Mueller report, for Christ's sake. Come on.
No,
wake up.
No. You're saying that the dossier. This isn't the same.
That's the Russia hoax.
That was allegedly done by Hillary Clinton, right? She's the one that's done all that. You know what I mean? But
why do you think? Where do you think they got the FISA warrants from? Because of the dossier.
Dude was already president at that time. He wasn't going anywhere. He was president. Didn't matter really. I mean, they could say whatever they want, but they had no real power. The only person who had power at that time was Comey. He's the only one who was still in office. Who else was still there? Was Brennan in there? I don't think he was.
No,
I don't think Clinton or any of those guys were there.
No,
the only one was still there.
Was Comey. No, this was in January prior to the inauguration. That this happened.
The dossier came out in January prior to that.
It came out prior to that. Yeah.
I don't remember
that. Why do you think they got the FISA warrants for Carter Page?
I don't.
They
remember.
were looking into him because they lied about it to the FISA court.
I don't know. I can't say that I know that for sure. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably have a better grasp of this whole entire thing that happened in 2016 that that's not affecting us one bit. But hey, if they have proof that they did this stuff, if they have proof.
You like to use the word cabal. It's cabal, but that was a cabal trying to get a
cabal. When I say cabal,
you said cabal one time.
I don't remember saying cabal. I don't say cabal.
You said
you want me to have said cabal. That's this. We'll go with it.
Cabal.
We'll go with it.
You say cabal, but you said cabal. I was like, well, we're not in Afghanistan.
But
anyway, go back and watch. Go back and watch.
I believe you. Go ahead.
It was during the Epstein episode that we had. Anyway, regardless, they tried to circumvent the justice system, the intel system, all because they didn't want Trump to be in office. They made it look as though he was in cahoots with Russia. And I know you're going to say, well, he was, but there's no proof of it.
This is what I'm going to say.
It was all fake.
Russia. If you have those emails, I need the emails. The next day they show up. I don't know. You know what I mean? To me, if I call on you, I say,
we already talked about that one.
Beelzebub.
We already know.
If I call on Beelzebub, listen, if I call on Beelzebub, the next day, wherever I call before shows up, it sounds like we might have some type of something in cahoots right at that point in time.
You might have called. You might have called him about something.
You know what I mean? That's how I'm looking. I'm like, man, it sounds real strange to me right now.
I'll tell you what, though, you screwed up somehow. That deal that you made with him to keep Trump out this second round.
I didn't make a deal. That one up. I wish I would have. I wish I would have taken the deal. I was trying to save my soul. I was like, nah, we'll see what happens. I think people have more common sense than to vote for this guy. But hey,
from a person who's held a top secret security clearance, I get it. You know, I've told you before. My biggest thing about Hillary, I didn't care. You know, she could have been the greatest presidential candidate that ever lived. But what she did threw me completely for a loop and away from her, period. She could have had great ideas. She could have been a great president. But anybody else who would have done that would still be in Leavenworth today. Period. End of story. Okay. She got nothing. She skated.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out what happened here. Because
I hope so. I really do. I want it because it needs to happen.
If this turns out to be a big dud and nothing comes of it, what then?
And
because you guys have all the power to do everything you need to do right now.
Was it Mike Waltz, the guy who had the what was that thing called that they used to talk on?
Yeah. I know you're talking
But-
about the signal app or whatever that is.
But he should have been fired for that.
You know where he's at right now? You know where he's at? He's not fired. He wasn't fired. He was brought.
No, he got another job.
Yeah, right in the UN. He's like, hey, Mike Walsh, you're doing a great job over in the UN now.
Come on.
Moved you right over here. We're not going to fire you.
What's the phrase? What's the phrase? You F up, you move up.
You know what I mean? You know, so I mean, it's to me, all I'm saying is this right here. If they did do these things, then okay. But stripping security clearances, everything they're doing now is just distractions.
It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing.
That's fine. That's fine. Distractions.
It's the right thing to do.
Distraction, smoke screen, distraction.
It's not about that. It's not about that. It really is. They're not using them. They're not utilizing them. Why should they have them?
But they've been doing
this. I don't have mine anymore.
But this isn't the first time this isn't the first time they've been stripping people of security clearance. They did it when he first walked in the door. He does the worst possible thing. He does the most abnormal things that there are to possibly do to America. He does them consistently.
There's nothing. But what's the problem with stripping a security clearance if somebody doesn't need it?
You know what? I don't mind it. I don't really care. But the point of it is, though, it's all a distraction. Knowing all this was a distraction. This is a whole entire process of what he's doing. It's great that she can do that. Well, why don't you help release the Epstein files then? You guys can do all this. You guys got all this time.
They're having hearings.
Do all this
they're having hearings about it.
Why do we got to have a hearing? Why do we got to have a hearing about this? Why do we have to have a hearing?
Bill Barr was just brought in.
Why do we have? I don't even have to go. We don't have to go into this right now. But why do we got to have a hearing? We have to have a hearing about anything else. Anything else you want to do? You can just do what you got to do.
About everything. There's hearings every single day, I think, in the people's house there.
I understand, but me personally, I don't think that is a big deal. But it could be. I don't know. You know what I mean? But let's check into it. Let's see where this goes. I really want to see.
Cross our fingers. Let's cross our fingers for more news to come out about it, so we can have more
to talk
material
about
for our show.
Absolutely. And I also think that if Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, if they get them on subpoena and they actually come in and talk, that'll be big. They're going to ask them all kind of crazy questions. I know that's why I know he's not coming in. If I'm Bill, I'm not going. You notice Bill hasn't said a word.
I want to know. I still want to know what is. I want to know what is. I still haven't figured that one out yet. It's been 30 years. It's been 30 years, and I don't know what is. What's your definition of is?
Bill was a different creature. He just was. Bill's been really, really quiet. If you think about it, he hasn't said a word. Pete, you ever heard anything like Bill? Just be quiet, okay? He might just drop off one of these days. We might not, you know what I mean? He might just be finished. Like, oh my God, you know, Bill's one of our better presidents, I should say. When it came as far as the economy was concerned, he was a decent president. A bunch of other stuff I can't really vouch for him for.